Hi and welcome to Orpnimi. This is Sarah Tova Best. Well, Mazel Tov. We've just stepped into the world of 8. I'll hold my little microphone because I don't know if it's going to cooperate. We've just stepped into the world of 8. What does that mean? We just spent an amazing 14 hours listening to Rabbi Wolf here in New York, 4 different classes, and he's explained to us that really we finished the decade of 770. You can listen to his shir on his website on Mayan Yisrael. We finished the decade of 770 of the sevens, and now we're into 5780, which means we are now stepping into a decade of 8. So my question is, I'm not going to do all the fancy learning stuff about it. What I want to know is, as a female, what does this mean for us? What should we be doing? Because, let's face it, the difference between 7 and 8 is vast. And not only did we go through a decade of 7, we went through, since 5700, since 1940, 70 years, 80 years. We've been in that 7 energy for a really long time. So I just know one thing, that whatever it is, I want to be in sync with it. Because I know what it feels like to be out of sync with things means things don't work. So whatever the energy is of being in this new decade that we just stepped into of 8, I want to be in it. I want to be a part of it. I want to be resonating with it because I want life to work. And we want Mashiach now. Including, all the way down to including, is this camera and is the sound going to work? Okay, so I'm going to say the following. I can't base it on sources. This is a female kind of an idea. I'm going to say the following. When you're in the energy of 7, it's a Shabbos energy. So the energy of 7 is, you got to get through 6 to get to 7, right? You got to get through the whole week. You work the whole week and then you get to Shabbos. Or to say it in a different way, you have a project that you have to do, and you have to take care of every detail. You have to take care of every detail. And at some point, certainly in our generation, in this time, it becomes overwhelming. Raise your hand if you find that there are just too many pieces to the puzzle. Life used to be a lot simpler, and now there are just endless pieces and more pieces to the puzzle, more pieces to your everyday life, just getting your phone to work than ever before. So in the energy of 6, you've got to take care of you. You have to take care of the whole thing. And at some point you wake up to the reality of 7, and you lift up your eyes to heaven and you say, Hashem, please help me. And if you're in really good shape, that's a 7, Shabbos. Please help me. I can't do this all by myself. And if you're in really good shape, you believe and feel every moment of the day that Hashem is helping you, will help you. You're not alone. It's going to be fine. He's going to help you. That's a 7 energy. Pretty good. If you're doing that, great. And really, we spent this past decade preparing the world for Mashiach, as Rabbi Wolf says. Preparing the world for Mashiach is partly that recognition that God will help us. And being that we're in the week of Yom Kippur, really that deep connection, that oneness on Yom Kippur with Hashem, the recognition that we are one piece. He's going to help us. I'm not alone. I felt alone when I was in the world of 6. When I'm in the world of 7, I realize He's there to help me. What else do you think He wants to do all day other than help me? Perfect. So what's this 8 thing that we just walked through the door a few days ago into the decade of 8? What is it? And really, by the way, parenthetically, Rabbi Wolf pointed out today that 9 years ago we really started to enter this decade of 8. And I'm going to tell you, as a coach, One of the most amazing things about this decade is that we discovered brain plasticity. Nobody knew about brain plasticity before. Everybody felt like the way you are, if you had some negative experiences, this is going to shape who you are forever, and just deal with it, just tolerate it, and you're not going to be much better than you are. That's it. You can't fix it. You can't fix it. Comes along in this decade, going into 8, the concept of brain plasticity, in which we're told, what do you mean you can't fix it? Who you were then, no matter how big, bad, and ugly, God forbid, that's all fixable. Your brain is plastic. It can be redone and redone and redone and redone and reshaped and reconfigured, and the brain waves and and the neurons that fire together, that wire together, and all of that, and you can redo how it fires together. Brain plasticity. You're not stuck. In the world of 6, you are stuck. This is it. And hopefully Hashem will help you. And Hashem will help you, a 7 energy. Enter the decade of 8. What do I believe is the big change? I feel, it's my feeling, that in the world of 8, we come to the recognition that it's not that I have to do and take care of every little detail, and it's overwhelming at this point, but Hashem will help me. No, that's old stuff. In the world of 8, I come to the recognition that Hashem is doing the whole job. He's taking care of it. I can relax. I no longer have to stress. He is doing the entire job. My task is to come to him every day or every moment and say, how are you doing, God? Seems like you're doing a great job. Do you need some help? And he will send me instructions what he wants me to do to, so to speak, help him run the world or run my world. So he might say, okay, first thing in the morning, spill out your Nagelwasser. Leave it, and say brachas right away, and do this, and drink some water, hydrate yourself well, and do this and do that. He's got all these kinds of things he wants me to do to help him run my world. But he is running my world. And I no longer have to stress. Wow. That's a lot of decades of stress that I no longer, oh thank God, I no longer have to do that stuff. So that's the good part of the world of 8. The weird part of the world of 8, in my opinion, is 8 is above nature. It's no longer linear. In the world of 7, in the world of 6, everything's linear. This causes that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything goes step by step. In the world of 8, it's wild energy. Nothing's linear. There's no feeling of cause and effect. There's no feeling of I did this, therefore that, and she did that. Everything just appears extremely random. Wild, crazy, random. That's the way it appears in the world of 8. Because remember, you're drawing on an energy, not Elohim in the world where things, you're drawing on that miraculous energy where in the end it's going to be amazing. In the meantime, it's hard to follow what exactly is happening because it doesn't look like an orderly energy. It's the fast track to get you into your Maisa Mashiach. But if we're stuck on things looking orderly, like I am, this could be a fun decade. So my thought is the following. I want to be in sync with this new world of 8. We're in it anyway. Rosh Hashanah happened. There's no going back. Let's turn, I'm going to use last year's calendar. I just refuse, you get those calendars in the mail. I throw them all out and I use 5779 calendars and I'll be in the old reality, right? not going to do it. Using the old calendar isn't going to put me back into the world where things were somewhat orderly. We have been propelled into that faster than the speed of light energy. I know, I was once going on Miftzayim and they asked me to take a table to this shopping center. So I put the table between the seats and I started to drive, and all of a sudden the car started to go so fast it was terrifying. So I got really scared and I thought, what if I just jump out of the car and save my life? It was so scary for a second. And all of a sudden I looked down and I realized the table is pressing on the gas pedal. So I moved it and the car slowed down. So I really experienced that feeling of, this is too fast for me. This is really scary. It's more than I have signed up for. I can't do this one. We don't want to feel that way in this world of 8, in this decade of 8. It's a wild but wonderful decade. It's the decade where we're going to step into the Hanukkah energy, the 8th day energy, the 8 days, all the 8s, all the things that we've ever learned about 8 and how incredible 8 is, the 8th day of the Mishkan, and Moshe Rabbeinu brings the Shekhinah down, and all that good stuff. That's going to happen this decade. Last thing I want to do is be left behind with an old calendar, wishing it were still 7 and orderly because I'm stuck. So therefore, I decided to try it. I decided to try realizing, already on Erev Rosh Hashanah, I don't have to stress. God is doing the whole job. I don't have to cook today. He's cooking. So I did try it, and I must say it was pretty amazing, especially for me who's addicted to order. It was pretty amazing. He did it. And I've seen since then, every time things are just going wacky, and it's really easy in these days for things to go wacky, right? Every time I think things are going wacky and I better, I realize, wait, I'm not running the show. He's in control. Hashem has an out-of-the-box way of presenting life to us at this point, but he knows what he's doing. I don't have to be afraid. And therefore, that's my hachlata, and I hope that's everybody's hachlata for this year. Let's experiment, because maybe I'm right, and maybe I'm not right. Let's experiment with realizing that I no longer have to be in charge. It's going to get done much better if I'm not. I'm here to help at every second. And I'm here to help the one who has perfect judgment. And surely, we as women, as women who are influencers on the world, we will influence the world to feel what hopefully we can come to this year. That warm sense of soft, warm, cozy, comforting security, knowing that it's a different time. God's on top of everything. It didn't occur to me as much as it does now. I can be here for the ride and help him along. And it's going to be an incredible decade. And surely it'll be the decade. Forget about the decade. The year. Forget about the year. The month. Forget about the month. The week. The day that we walk into the third Beis HaMikdash and see the menorah of, I guess, 8 and dance to the Geula immediately now. Wishing everybody a Gemar Chasima Taiva. It should be the sweetest year that we ever experience, because it should be the year of the full Geula now. Thanks so much.